Tired of this. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. That one from Ziggy Rankin, right? Right, let me lower that volume a little bit. All praises you to the Almighty Creator. We give Him thanks for life this Monday morning. It's Monday, so you can't be tired, but Ziggy expressing his frustrations there with how some things are going, how things going. And it is sang in a particular context, but you can apply it to whatever challenges, whatever that you do not agree with, because there are some things that we must stand against. As I said earlier, blessings and good morning to all in the fraternity, that conscious fraternity reggae, Orlando in particular. Good morning, brother. Blessings. Making that effort in whatever way that they can to improve the mindset of the people, to unify the people behind causes that are essential to our upliftment. And we've seen some efforts to do that. I went on point over the weekend. As I said on the radio, and I saw one of my usual callers as well. Blessings, brother. Good morning. And he say, you rarely say your common points. I say, well, I had to do that as much as possible, because time is also a constraint. We have to balance our lives. Can't be that you're in everything and you're not putting effort into what matters in terms of, earning, maintenance, etc., whatever you could do for your family, etc. as well. To just neglect those responsibilities. But enjoy yourself. There's an energy and a goodness from the interaction between human beings. The connection that we have to others is essential, and maintaining it, because we are social creatures. It's in our nature as well. So it was good. And when I walk in through the crowd with my good friend from that side, Labrie, big up Labrie, Vesini, Point, right? Big up everybody. No youth left behind. Big up everybody, right? And I must be said about twice, I love to see my people enjoy themselves. You should have that in you, the ability to enjoy seeing others enjoying themselves. I hope we have that. It points towards, a purity of heart. To see a smile on somebody else's face. Don't matter if you smiling. Their smile supposed to actually inspire yours, because they enjoy something. Your children, when they smile, supposed to ignite the flames of enjoyment in you. I love to see my people enjoy themselves. Of course, you know me. Tata has something to celebrate. You can't just be celebrating and partying all the time, and in and of itself, you're celebrating your birthday, you're getting older, but are you growing? Must have some growth as well, and not just the material markers that people look for, but spiritual, substantial character building. Character. We must analyze and assess our characters and improve them. The little hothead, you gotta improve that. Work on it so you become more patient. That's growth. So Bigger Point and all of the surrounding areas, highway to Point makes it quite easy as well. We look forward maybe to another boom. I don't know if it's in that direction or if it's the next direction that the boom is going to take place. I think more Mayaro, Guaya. It would have been good if the infrastructure that is put in place now was there when, boom was taking place on that side. I ain't trying to be too critical about that today. But we have to be up to time. Sometimes we can't be behind. Can't be behind with our development so often. We have to do better. So let me head across to the news. I think it was incident free for the most part, although of course our weekend was not incident free in Trinidad and Tobago overall, and I'll have to come to at some point that concerning incident, right? This home invasion nonsense that men, embarking upon. Terrible. We can't do that. We'll get to that. But all in all, love and respect. I hope Trinidad and Tobago enjoyed their little weekend. All right. Let's see what's in the news. Road rage escalates into abduction of driver. Madness. A win for mom. Just touching the headlines. I'll go into them shortly. NGC part of all cross-border talks. Yeah, man. I would expect that. Manhunt for 2 suspects. So that is in connection with the 2 individuals who they say remain at large as part of that group that allegedly invaded our home and was in the Cunupia area, causing concern. ICJ begins hearing today on Essequibo dispute. So for some of us who are aware, there is a contention about the Essequibo region and who that region belongs to, so to speak. I mean, those terms are big terms to also be considered. That is between Guyana and Venezuela. That dispute is taking place, and interesting that the International Court of Justice will begin hearings today on that dispute. We have a headline regarding the opposition leader. I won't be bullied. All right, interesting. Like I said, when we come back from the break, we'll go into maybe all of them a little bit deeper. Whistleblower raises red flags at First Citizens. All right, concerns about board overreach, conflicts of interest. Very interesting story there. Of course, the other bank that is in the headlines is Republic Bank. And of course, those increases in costs, fees, and other things are concerning to customers. Like myself, I am concerned, and I'm also looking into what I could do. We have to consider what the collective can also do to try to appeal, putting it nicely, right? Try to appeal to our service provider, because it's a service that they provide that is almost inescapable. Banking is almost inescapable in this modern era, so to speak. So all of us are forced to utilize that service from one provider or the next. I've found in the past that they have been, in my opinion, pretty good. And these new changes do concern me. Of course, as people have said to us, if you do not like the service at one institution or business, there are other options. And sometimes utilizing those options sends a strong signal. Sends a strong signal to that institution that you need to change because you're losing business. You think you was losing some money before, or you're not making what you want to make, or whatever the reasoning behind these increases are. Or think about when many of your customers leave. All right, so we have to think carefully about these things. And as I scroll a little lower down, someone is robbed of a gold chain, $10,000. Pressure, right? Crime, continual issue. People that still wear $10,000 gold chains. I mean, cool, but what belongs to somebody belongs to them. Shouldn't take it from them. Man injures police officers while being arrested for cursing. Still arresting people for cursing. I mean, maybe his behavior otherwise may have been. Elderly superior man dies on the highway. Yeah, I think I might have just glimpsed that incident on the way back from Point, if I'm not mistaken. And specifically in that area, people have been speaking about problems, because it's just like a continual issue of people running off the road at that point. So maybe the Ministry of Works need to look into that issue. I don't think there are barriers at that point either. Maybe they were knocked down or removed or were never there. But we have to be careful as well that the roads do not add to the propensity for you to run off, to crash. So condolences to that family. Man acquitted of 2020 murder at his home. And I think I might have mentioned that story, an interesting story there. Killed a young man who was at the home, something visiting his daughter, something of this sort. Very interesting. Maybe I'll get into it as well. So a lot going on in Trinidad and Tobago. We will be right back after the break, and we'll go into depth into those stories. All right, so we'll be right back.
Peace of God be multiplied unto you in the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. This is Redemption Hour, a gospel program where God will reveal His mind to you on how to live a fulfilled life and to please Him in all areas. Join Pastor Femi Afolabi, the National Overseer of Deeper Christian Life Ministry, Trinidad and Tobago, and other seasoned ministers for a time of divine encounter as they minister and pray for you every Saturday by 9 o'clock in the morning of this station, Street FM 91.9. Our church is Deeper Life Bible Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows: Sunday worship service, 9 a.m., Monday Bible study, 6 p.m., Thursday revival hour, 6 p.m. The redemption hour is a life-changing moment you cannot afford to miss. For special prayer or counseling, contact Pastor Femi Afolabi on 778-9933. God bless you as you listen to this program. Jesus is Lord.
TechFlex TT Limited, the #1 computer store in Trinidad and Tobago, has all your tech needs. We have the latest computers, powerful MacBooks, and affordable Chromebooks for school and work, providing new and refurbished options to suit everyone's budget. Also, we carry a variety of printer options and ink solutions for your home and office needs. Need repairs done? Our experienced technicians can solve your tech problems. Visit us now at any of our 2 locations, Wilson Road, Scarborough, next to Royal Castle, or Penco Street, Montrose, Chagonas. Call 235-4919 for more info. TechFlex TT Limited. Affordable tech. Exceptional service.
A feeling for a big meal. Chicken. With big taste. Must be KFC. And big flavor. Chicken. And value for my money. Must be KFC. Yo, who keeps saying that? Well, I hear something. I'm the voice in your belly. Get big value every day of the week, from Munchin Mondays to Fantastic Fridays and specials to make your weekend even tastier. Check socials for details. Remember, there's only one original, often imitated but never duplicated. It must be KFC.
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Aloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamflo, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday
from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning on the Street 919 FM.
Hear my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
The Embassy Yacht is back and ready to transform your events into unforgettable experiences. Launched from King's Wharf, San Fernando, the perfect starting point for an epic experience of luxury, music, and celebration on the open water. By booking our vessel, your event will include a house DJ, state-of-the-art sound system, fully stocked bar, dedicated cleaning crew, top-notch security. This isn't just a venue, it's a floating masterpiece designed to make your event the talk of the town. Imagine your guests dancing under the stars, drinks in hand, with breathtaking views of the coastline as your backdrop. From birthdays to corporate events to exclusive parties, the Embassy Yacht offers promoters a unique platform to create unforgettable memories and boost your brand's reputation. Call or WhatsApp 399-5959 or email embassycruises@gmail.com.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Munchy Mondays. Mondays look real good. Munchy Mondays at KFC. get a one piece of that signature chicken plus a regular side for just $19.95. Small price, big satisfaction. Start the week right. It must be KFC. Order now via the KFC TT app only. Follow KFC Trinidad and Tobago WhatsApp channel for all the deals. And I went into a KFC sometime last week. Of course, they have the digital screens now where you order. Advancement, you know. Also, of course, we understand trying to decrease the cost of labor by decreasing labor. You know, they have to do their business models. We as a society have to adapt as well and understand where labor markets are going and adjust to find where we can earn. You have to find somewhere where you could earn and be of benefit, because the world has changed and it is changing. Good and natural ginger tea. There's some advice when you hear it. One time you know it's good advice. My granny tell me a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea first thing in the morning does wonders for the body. Good and natural ginger tea in its single-size packet is excellent for flavoring your cooking, salads and desserts. But what was news for me is when my granny say a hot cup of good and natural ginger tea helps with nasal congestion and colds, stomach problems, migraine headaches, and it's really good for arthritis in the body. Good and natural ginger tea. Good advice to start your day right. Lion Brand products. Lion Brand baking powder. Achieve risen baked goods every time with Lion Brand baking powder. A convenient, easy to use pouch ensures freshness and makes measuring a breeze. From cakes to cookies, Lion Brand baking powder is your secret ingredient for the best results. Imagine the smiles as you share your delicious homemade creations with family, friends, and neighbors. Baking is about more than just food. It's about creating memories. Choose Lion Brand baking powder and bake up some sweet moments. Lion Brand, the power behind our great taste traditions. So we have these tremendous companies providing products, and that is the nature of business in Trinidad and Tobago. We have options. Sometimes you try to find the best option for you and utilize it. If there are changes, then sometimes we have to change as well. And I see one of the viewers was saying they're passing on the costs. That Republic Bank is passing on the cost that they are incurring because the government identified them as a major earner, as being highly profitable, and have taxed them, have taken a bit from them to redistribute, to develop, to build Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, we spoke about this in the past. All of us have to contribute. And it is sad that those on top who sometimes run business, etc., they pass on the cost to the small man all the time. They could sustain decreasing their profits, They could survive. You had 10 million, you could survive on 8, You could survive on 8. And we ain't talking about the hundreds of millions in profits that these banks and some companies make. I posted something this weekend as well. If there's an increase in inflation in the cost of a product, okay, 10% on the global market, it costs you this import because of whatever is taking place in the Strait of Hormuz or wherever else, whatever challenge. But then on the shelf, you increase it by 15%. That's not being fair. We have to be fair. We have to be considerate in our business dealings. I mean, that's what I'm advocating for, but we unfortunately see the reality of crass capitalism, as we refer to it on this program, right? That the only thing that matters, people don't matter. Sad. People don't matter. Only profit matters. And then for the politician, for the crass politician, some of them, people don't matter. Only power matters. It's real sad. It's real sad that we live in a world driven that way. And those evil forces are strong drivers. So the wicked push. The wicked does work. All ever hear that? The wicked does work. I don't know if I'll ever hear it. I just make it up. The wicked does work hard. And sometimes goodness and good people are too relaxed, too laid back. So, yeah, that is of concern. You can't just pass on the cost to the customer, man. You know, bear some responsibility for Trinidad and Tobago. You have more, give more, and retain your market share. But I guess they believe that customers will not move or migrate. And to be honest, I migrated to Republic Bank because their service is better than some of the others. So don't mess up. Don't mess up. Call your manager. I'm going to speak to my manager. Avoid the places where they have increased cost as well. I will adapt to suit. And if it's ridiculous that it's catching me in their web, don't matter what, I will seriously consider moving. How to do that? So that is the banking sector. And like I said, there's another article here regarding FCB this time, and a whistleblower. So let me just see what this whistleblower has brought to our attention. Concerns about board overreach, conflicts of interest, and the handling of its whistleblowing system have been raised in an anonymous disclosure filed under whistleblowing policy number 284 at First Citizens Group Financial Holdings Limited. The disclosure alleged a series of whistleblowing submissions was used to build a record of concerns surrounding the Deputy CEO for Operations and Administration and the functions under his oversight, ultimately culminating in her resignation. Neela Munilal Kisoon resigned from the position on March the 6th, having been appointed on December 27th, 2023. So a fair tenure, but she resigned after a whistleblower would have put forward some information. The whistleblower also claimed the acting deputy CEO for revenue generation was removed with no rationale provided. Sena Ragbir, who served in the acting role from August 2025, returned to her substantive position as General Manager, Retail and Commercial Banking, after her appointment ended on December 31st, 2025. Let's see if I could get to the crux of it. So just some shakeups there, and the article is available for us to go through. All of our banks, our substantive banks, are tremendous players in our economy. Banking is a huge sector. It is an important responsibility because they hold our money, and their operations need to be above board. And unfortunately, you know, as I say that, I'm thinking, and there are a number of different times where there have been questionable actions surrounding IPOs and other things pertaining to our major banks in Trinidad and Tobago and financial institutions. We know the HCU, CLICO, etc. issues as well. So pay attention, learn. You know, I've seen one of the viewers as well commenting as well. Learn and understand banking. Understand how you can benefit as much as possible for something that is almost inescapable. And also, you know, be responsible with the institutions that you give your money to hold, to invest because they invest it as well. Be cautious. All right, so that's FCB, and like I said, for those interested, they can go into the article a little bit further. On the topic of business as well, I read something that stood out to me pertaining to NGC. And Trinbagonians must understand how important the National Gas Company is for Trinidad and Tobago. Gas is the driver of our economy. Gas is where we make money now. And therefore, the positions and responsibilities that our leaders hold in that company are essential. So NGC is shifting in some ways. Of course, yes, they've pulled back some of their sponsorship from certain entities to try to assist central government in the sense of providing more funds for them to do more essential stuff in their opinion, because things tight, right? Money tight still. But it is also the avenue through which we look forward to, you know, future earnings, and not too distant in the future, God willing, right? That will propel our economy forward. But at this stage still, you know, I was reading that they have made decisions to try to utilize what gas that comes, because we have a shortage in gas, for the most profitable aspects of their business. So you all know about Point Lisa's industrial estate, I hope. You all know about these companies that are along the stream of income from gas. You use that gas to do a number of things, to create ammonia, to smelt iron, aluminum, I mean all over the world. Use it for power generation. Use it for many different things. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we are no different. So with that natural gas that we have, it is utilized by companies in the Point Lisa's industrial estate, for example, and they would pay taxes, etc. They would pay for the gas, all of those things. We may have remembered Nutrient and the spat between NGC and the cost for gas and stuff like that. But what the effort is that you maximize profits to Trinidad and Tobago. So if you have mangoes to sell. You know, you sell the mangoes to the highest purchaser who's paying the most for it. But of course, you have to take into consideration the other benefits of these companies who hire people and stuff like that, etc., labor, all those and long-term benefits, etc., of those companies as well. So there's a lot being considered in the short term, but we also hope in the long term that gas production increases as it's supposed to, for the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, my brother. Welcome.
Good morning, my brother. Blessings to you.
And blessings to you this Monday morning, man. Blessings.
Yes, man. I appreciate what you just said there. Mr. Ford, anything to benefit Trinidad and Tobago, we have to support it, because it's for the benefit of all of us. However, Mr. Ford, this morning, I'm kind of appalled to what took place in Parliament. I mean, everything there actually, it got so personal. It's one thing when you're talking about the issues and rules and laws and stuff like that. It's another thing when you start to attack people and their family business and stuff like that. It was a total mess. Mr. Fuad, listen up. I have no problem with they asking for the godly lady to resign, who was in the committee. Right? I have no problem with that. I think even before they said anything, she offered her resignation. Right? But the whole parliament was surrounding that, because they were also calling for Mr. Iwer to be taken to the privilege committee, which Mr. Daniel Roberts mentioned. He embarrassed himself, he embarrassed his family, and which I find he didn't have to go there. Right? But what is really bothering me this morning, Mr. Fuad, is that there are people in the UNC that not even supposed to be in the house. Now, you will give me your view after. I just saying it how I see it. Mr. Lee is on our charge. Right? He's on our charge. No alleged. He was charged. The DPP charged him. Gave orders to charge him. When he was asked to step down, he said he's not going nowhere. Mr. Murila is on our charge, but he in Parliament still. And then we have this next one, Mr. Philip Alexander, who outside cussing everybody about who licking what and who stick what and whatever. But he's still in there. I think it's real bold-facedness for the government to be coming down on somebody. Yes, justly so. She did wrong. She did wrong. Nobody is disputing that. But in the manner in which she did it, but you're living in a glass house because there are people on your side who have done worse, Mr. Fuad, and they're still staying down in the House of Representatives. You reach a point where Ms. Jolene John is saying, there's we house. I mean, what the hell? There's we house. I mean, it was really this to me, Mr. Fuad, you know me, I just give kudos where kudos supposed to be given. And if I'm wrong and you tell me I'm wrong, I just take it, Mr. Fuad. But you see what I saw there? I mean, it was just total disrespectful. The girl did she wrong, right? She handed in her resignation. The opposition leader have to act on it. Fine. But don't talk like you only know cocoa in the sun. Because there are plenty cocoa in the sun.
Right, but I hear that statement. But if she has offended and she has resigned, she has come off of the PAAC as well, I respect that, because what she did, you can't really do that. And if Mr. Ara, Yeah, but if Mr. Arawi, and I don't think Ms. Beckles has tried to defend it in that way. She's accepted, she's acceded. But if Mr. Arawi as well did the same offense, then what is the difference? For a matter of fact, I think the argument is that he should know better because he was the Attorney General. You could feel some sympathy for Ms. John Bates because she knew, whatever, but it is such a grievous infringement that she couldn't continue to serve where she was. You can't because, you jeopardize the committee's work if you continue to work there. So I respect that. But why is Mr. Faris Arawi being treated differently, so to speak, when the responsibility on him should be greater because he was an Attorney General, because he's a seasoned politician and a senator as well, and a former MP, etc. Why is he being treated differently?
No,
is he untouchable?
I listen to Mr.
He is
not untouchable.
Is it his standing in terms of finance and his family backing, etc.? Because it does matter. Will we be real in Trinidad and Tobago, right? It does matter. And that is I think that is the point that not only the UNC is driving home, but there are neutral people who are looking on who would drive that home as well. The young, new senator making a mistake paying the price. Why in this society the big boys don't pay the same price? Why, if you have money and family name, justice to you applies differently? I think that is core to the fervor. I'm not even talking UNC per se, right? And I don't know nothing personal with Faris per se. But I'm saying, why is it not justice across the board? That is something that would aggrieve fair people. And yes, the excuse that there are people on the next side who have cocoa, all right, okay. But that is not really an excuse now. If you want to hold yourself as some type of morality and some type of standard or whatever, then you have to fix yourself too. You know what I mean?
No, as far as I understand this one, I listened to Mr. David Abdullah this morning on CNC3. Now, the question was asked if Mr. Iwer did anything wrong and so on. And he is of the view that he is defending the former health minister, now the name can't come to me right now. He is his lawyer.
Terence Yasing.
And that he is in place because he is defending him. So that he is in place to talk and to dialogue with him. He is his attorney.
Okay.
Right? He is his attorney, so he has all right to talk to Mr. Dial Singh because he is defending him. But Mr. Fuad, I don't want to hold up the line.
No, don't worry. Remember, people listening, we're dealing with an important topic. Inform me, because I also see somebody a little more harsh in terms of PNM back and calling as well, and maybe they could inform me. Are there trace documents to him as well from Faris Arawi? Are there trace documents assisting as well? Is that the case?
Mr. Fuad, if there is evidence, right? If there is evidence to deal with Mr. Faris, and he have to be taken down or as the case may be, or put out of the Senate, I have no problem with that. Once it could be proven, once there is evidence to show or to prove, Mr. Fuad, I have no problem with that. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
But the fact is, according to Mr. Abdullah, he had the right to sit with Mr. Dial Singh and to talk and to discuss as the case may be, because he is his attorney.
Right,
but if anything is found that wherever he was out of bounds or wherever the case is, then let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
My problem I am having is the outburst of the UNC compelling and coming down hard that they have to go, but you have people in your own party who is on charges and sitting sitting in the parliament, who are on charges. That is the problem I'm having. I have no problem with you going ahead with the salary and but don't get on as though you squeaky clean. That's my problem. Don't get on as though you're squeaky clean and embarrassing the MPs, the family and all that to get involved in this debate.
Right.
How about good day, Mr. Phone?
No problem at all. I understand your distinction there. Let me see if this caller could. Good morning. I was trying to see if that caller could have given some clarity. I know he has a perspective. Good morning.
Yeah, but morning to you.
Hey.
Morning to your listeners.
Morning to you as well.
You know, Fuad, it appears that everybody had different markings on the measuring tape, you know. And I agree with the last caller.
Yeah.
You can't have persons on your team who facing charges and you're not waiting on the end of the investigation, or it appears that you're waiting on the end of the investigation to see if they should be moved or not. And on the other hand, you have people who get themselves tied up and you want them to move right away. Mm-hmm. Now, me not no problem. I find all of them should be removed, right? But the thing about it is, Fuad, I look at something the other day where Mr. Imbert, right, was questioning Ms. Khadija Amin on some allocation that there was, right? And the previous allocation was about 1 million and the current allocation is 1.5. But the thing about this current allocation is allocated to an entity that is not functioning anymore. And I really fed up of these politicians, you know. Totally fed up because it's games right through. She did not attempt to clear it up as to why money is being allocated to something that is shut down. She just saying it is an estimate. An estimate for what, Khadija?
Right.
And when
was that?
Same thing that you continue to get regardless of whether it's UNC or PNM leading the state.
But that's a standing committee, that's a budget.
Getting a run around for the money. You understand? They're just doing what they want with the money in this place.
Mm. Yeah, but that's a standing committee, that is budget.
I'm not seeing that as a challenge. But I will continue to see it as a challenge in the same way that I saw Mr. Imbert asking the judge to assist them. I see that as a challenge, and they were so adamant in going behind the Auditor General. But as soon as they get the bad news in the Privy Council, and they say the Minister of Finance ought to be investigated as well, they stop waste taxpayers' money. They just drop the matter and forget about it. Mm. I don't know what is going on in this country, Fuad, but we're not in a good place. We're definitely not in a good place, brother. Anyhow, thanks for allowing me.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I was trying to get from him, I don't know if he was hearing me, I was trying to understand where that questioning was pertaining to local government and an allocation of 1.5 million as compared to 1 million, as he's saying before, to an entity that may be closed but still winding up. Sometimes you have entities that are not functioning, but they still have offices, a few workers finishing whatever was going on before. Good morning, brother. Welcome.
Hello.
Morning. Go ahead.
Hey, salam alaikum. Shalom, manishma.
Shalom, man. Wa alaikum salam.
My brother, I listening to the two callers, and the two of them are citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and I really admire what they're saying. For people born and grow up here, all the politicians and them, we have nobody who's sitting in parliament from Australia, New Zealand, or Russia or somewhere. Everybody here from Trinidad for the past how much years. What I am saying, where we going, right? The bank making endless profit, and who benefiting? Not the people who put in the money in the bank. They putting it in the stock exchange, the board member salary big, the allowance, the all kind of thing big, the workers in the bank underpaid. Then when you watch at it, you put how much money you put in the bank, you gain 1%. Let me tell you something, We have to face reality, and I bless God for giving me the strength this morning that I could come out here and make a contribution at the truth, because the truth will set me free. Now, we have an election for years. They keep saying PNM is the one supporting the 1%. Right. But you don't care who in power, the 1% benefiting. And the poor keep getting more poor. And then they're talking about how people only looking for handout and people looking for this. As a citizen of the country, the wealth of the country belongs to the citizen. But who benefiting? Okay, we're moving now. It's 1% we have in Trinidad, and all you who listening, all your face reality, The 1%, where they calling the whites and them Syrian and them wherever it is there. And then we had the Indian 1%, who have more money than the white 1%. And everything sharing, but here we're going. I talking about something what you say the country have no money. And in everything they say in money, country have no money, you know who feeling the brunt? That's how we say PNM was telling me about coal, pot and bicycle, right? We get rid of that. I don't want to hear nothing about PNM. With that concern, them out. We dealing now with UNC, which we have a UNC government. Right. Or you say corruption in CPEP, URP. Or you attack that with full force one time, close it down. Who are the majority of the people? Nobody in their hole for the corruption. Right. All you bringing something sustainable for people to get along with. It's the same CPEP cleaning up they're doing. I ain't see this stability who coming out doctor, lawyer, and wherever it is. Right? Then, let me face another reality now. The same 1% running the transporting of the prisoners. But all you're telling me as a stupidity, we have to get rid of PNM because of the 1%. But now, where we could do something to save that money with transporting prisoners, all you're telling me go take time and it can't work just so. Let me tell you something forward. You as a man who know prisoners, boy. It have prisoners we could build a courthouse immediately. If just as how you be say closing on CPEP and URP, and people go talk about hand down and corruption and the people lazy, the people ain't doing nothing. Listen, it's millions of dollars we're talking about going in transporting prisoners. And you know why I want this to be on my phone burner every day? I know we could save that money, but here we're going on. The money to save is only on the little man. And the big man still enjoying. Let me tell you something, the 1% and the 1% benefiting, don't care who come in power. And the poor and the oppressed still getting power and power, because before I went in Separia, Ladavina, Pastora, and if you see the people line up the side of the road begging, I went to Point Borode. When I watch the Point Borode, the people who selling, everybody has something to sell, is the poor people. But yet still, they want to say that we lazy, we this, we that. And it's the African, they don't want to hear about African because we could only kill us, and we could only rob one another, and we could only thief. We don't support one another. You know why I'm saying that? Forward, it's about Go Street, they call Melrose in Parsley Street. A black man. He can't expand because he stay one way fighting for survival. We had Umbala in Belmont, in La Hoqueta, all them closed down. Black man again. We had Monroe, had to close down. We had Neil Durham, we had a little restaurant on Frederick Street. He dead with grief and fall. Let me face reality. Ish, this one, that one, from since the days of Monilal moving mountain partner. Everybody passing the grease, the brown bag, the cut back, And when time comes to hear the treasury empty calling to black talent, we still have to make the sacrifice. So I don't want to stay too long, but you see what the brothers on them saying? People getting conscious, boy. And let me tell you why I feel proud of. I went back to Catholic church yesterday and I hear them singing Bob Marley tune, boy. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. And when I check it out, we black people is God people, boy. We ain't want to set a vanity, boy. We not on vanity. Man selling the soul to gain the world. And this is with matching up Trinidad. The police can't talk, he want money. The custom man can't talk, he want money. And the corruption. Everybody, the politicians, everybody on fixing this one, fixing that one because on greed, right? The mass man want to bring all-inclusive ban, so the people, he have to make everything, and the people were selling the little boil corn and thing on the side of the road can't make nothing. Forward, let me face reality, boy. What we have to do?
Yeah.
What we have to do? Where your father, look, your father had a school. They never financed that school, and they finance all religious, all kind of school. They never pay teachers. And I will tell you this. If you're in here about it, I'm telling you about it, brother. It had a little black man from Laventille named Oliver, better known as Squaw. That man went paying money to be a pilot, to fly plane. Just because he's from Laventille, they keep putting him up. You know what he tell me and I? He say, Olio, I'm going tomorrow to take my test to fly. And if they ain't came out, Olio look for me. Check the history. The man will take the plane and fly all over Laventille and crash in the quarry up in the White Line factory. All you check it out, and he ain't crashed because he couldn't fly. He tried to raise towards the hill, and it had a shed that hooked the wheel and guided him into the mountain, and he dead. So when we talking, how much people from Laventille or how much CPEP or URP workers so they pay money for the children to go university. Check the East Indians and them sacrificing Pala in this. They pass brown bag, they do this for the children to benefit. Right. Let me tell you something. Let me deal with the truth. That's why I like your program. If I go to talk that on the ground report, the amount of criticized, but let me tell you something. When Christ walked the earth, he didn't come to please and who criticized. And when Malcolm X knew he was going and get killed, he stand for principle and dignity. And you see, Torre, what he doing for his people, he know they're coming at him to kill him, to put him back in poverty, put the people back in poverty, keep all the gold and the minerals. Let me tell you something. I Malcolm X, that's why I call myself Malcolm X. Them could do what they want. But you see the wickedness and the evil we're going in this country, so where the two brothers say, and everybody was saying down in Parliament, no. Everybody no. Who name call for this and who name call for that, and just recycling from PNM to UNC to NAO to ONAO to this, and how we children and them on the road suffering and killing all themselves. All they talking about the killing in Caroni, where the boy will put up his hand. All they forget where the police run down the three little boys from the beatum by Republic Bank and kill them. Them life in matter too. So they're trying to tell me I'm stupid. Right on Australia. Boy, look forward. Let me tell you something, boy. This we shall overcome thing. Nobody is slapping me on my cheeks and make me turn on the next time for them to break my jaw, boy. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you very much. Good morning, brother.
Salamu alaikum, forward.
Wa alaikum salam.
May peace and blessing be upon you.
And you as well, man.
May intelligent of your callers raise. While listening this morning, they're not raising the intelligent. Brother calling himself Malcolm X. You have to study the words what the Malcolm X say. Study the words. You're saying that successful government not building the courthouse up in the prison. But is it PNM that you support and your family and the East-West corridor? And the same black man you're talking about support this. No, Kamala inherit the lion with his she hand in she mouth, meaning the 1%. Or you're moving away from that?
Yeah,
Well, you spin around the
think
sole
he's
on your
saying,
foot, but you're treating your back, Malcolm X.
I think he say
What kind of thing is that?
I think he say he want to see it done quickly or now. But
how it could turn quickly forward
I mean,
when they spawn.
It's a
baby.
proposal. It is a proposal that is there as one of the economic transformation policies that Jolene John has put out. It have a judicial complex and prison where they want to move finally this nasty jail in town and put everything in one place with judiciary places, whatever. That's the plan. They're hoping that they can get it done. It don't happen just like that. I know he's saying, the prisoners could build something more. I don't know that it happens like that. But we come from 50-something years of amalgamated, well, not 50-something, because before it was prison service, maybe about 20 years.
Foul. Long time. Is the Blue Maria used to transport us. The police vehicle in front will be charge record and a police vehicle in the back. PNMC, how they could give their 1% more money, they move the Blue Maria. They used to transport us, to the prison from the courthouse back.
Yeah.
What they decide to do is to give the 1% and move the Blue Maria and just put in the gray. And they put justice on time. Justice on time. It's just money on time. They want their money on time. It's not justice on time. Forward, the PNM spawn the umbilical cord. They breed at the conception that baby and milk that baby and bring him to a big man and they want to take the bottle out of their mouth. It's just so the baby will scream and call. I hear a brother the other day opposing Philip Alexander. Was not Syrian calling, was an African brother who get brainwashed with the brainwashed mentality of the PNM. The PNM is not the PNM that you know. Forward, when slavery was given up, when they was giving up slavery and Massa was giving up slavery, they didn't give up slavery. They choose to put a face like Burnham, like Dr. Eric William, like Gary. The 25 years they could not afford for to go into independent thinkers like you, Forward, like Dr. Cherry Jagan, like Rudolph Coppledale. Forward, it have a theory they call it the Coppledale theory, what NASA used for the first opposition leader over here, that they use his theory to go out to the Van Allen belt. For them to go out into space, they use the Coppledale theory. Forward, the PNM, right, is not the African. I don't know. When Malcolm X saying a successful government, Forward, if I was there for 25 years, and then you come in for 5 years, and you're coming for 5 years, what will go on in the NER? People had to raise their intelligence. The 1% didn't want the NER there. When UNC come in, when PNM come in, they destroy everything. They give back everything to the 1%. They tie everything to the 1%. When Kamala was saying that these people sucking on the breast and the nipple, the thing, these men and them is billions of years old and are still feeding from the trough. It are many 200 million years old and they're still feeding from the trough. You know what I mean? Meaning they have 200 million, they have billions of dollars and they're still sucking the breast. Leave it for the rest. Leave the rest for the brothers and them, especially for the African brothers. What the woman trying to do to bring me out of this poverty? When I hear people saying that we know of the government, like the last government, I tell you we know of the government, what does it mean? What does it mean that you're telling me we know of the government? Is the money for the 1%? Through the COVID, you find transport to give the 1% more money for transport. What is going on, Malcolm X? I hear Chris, you had to stop spin around the saw and put the plaster on the saw, brother. Or you have to raise all the intelligent PNM. PNM destroy the African in this country and destroy the education to learn. When men talk about Abraham Toure, Malcolm X, I don't like all the talk about my brother boy Abraham Toure. I don't like all the talk about Malcolm X, the original Malcolm X boy. All they learn the wrong things boy and put me to the PNM whip boy. We had to free ourselves from mental slavery boy. What is the most difficult thing?
Malcolm have a level of consciousness. I wouldn't say that, but I understand your concerns, right?
But he's spinning around. He's not talking the truth.
No, I think he wants to see change. I think he wants to see change now. He wants to see change quicker.
Why you want to see change now when the lion already open mouth and snap up the head on it?
Well,
she going to open she jack up. You gotta use a jack up, man. Jack up that head, boy. Not just so you pulling out that teeth on your hand, ripping out your skin, boy.
Yeah. Thank you very much, brother. The line's busy. Let me take a couple others.
Yeah.
Right? And it is extremely challenging. It's not going to happen just like that, but it is in train. And we have to look on to see if over this period the changes that we need are going to be made. Good morning, brother. You're trying to come in. Welcome.
Yeah, because that people are rubbish and black people and all kind of rubbish. Rubbish. I don't know the black people, them to be a black party. Rubbish. And I just tell people, some of the most...
Oh, PNM is not a black party. That way you're saying?
PNM, I don't know the PNM to be a black party. You know the PNM to be a black party?
No.
Is the UNC a East Indian party?
No.
Well, all right. So then we're always telling them.
Yeah. But it's a 1% party or
I don't know about that neither.
Oh, you don't know about
because 1% is people with money.
Yes,
East Indian, and, so Indian people is 1% too?
Some of them,
what do I mean by 1%?
Some of them, Mr. Sinanan and others, are definitely 1% as well.
Well, all right. So what we so then when they mean 1%, they were talking about race, Syrian.
No, we're not talking about race.
Yes, because the man. So let me point something out to you. The man started carrying on a road about 1% and amalgamated. So let me explain something to when you right. And first to begin, you're not a Trinidadian, right? And on top of that, is an East Indian man coming here to talk about black people. So I don't know where he come to that story. There's an Indian man trying to convince black people about black people, you know.
Who are you talking about?
That gentleman that just called you there and speaking to you. He's not of African descent.
I don't know.
Well, I telling you. I bounce him up every single day. And me and he have a conversation on the road every day. Where I stop speaking to him. I stop speaking to him because it's level of disrespect to my race. So you can't come, so let me move on. So if you used to ride in the Maria, then I know your character, right? And don't put me in the same boat with you. So anyhow, the reason why Amalgamated get the job is because public servants, black people who used to work in the prison, most of them who drive in the government van, and the mechanic who had to fix it to get the prisoners to prison on time, never used to make it. So that's a problem with people appearing in court on time, and lawyers start to take the state to court for the client not being able to appear in court and spending extra time, and the state had to start to pay. So I could buy more truck and I still didn't get any problem solved because the same black people who working in the prison not fixing the truck and not doing what they're supposed to do with the truck. So I get a man who already have a car company and have a security company. It just happened to be a 1%. Or what you all call a 1% today.
You're being sarcastic or you're being serious?
I'm being very serious.
Oh, you're being... I didn't
What
get
I'm telling you is the facts. I'm just putting it over to my partner who's trying to be an African man. Right? So, the so-called 1% that all they call 1% was a just strategic businessman who used an opportunity where we as black people who was in a government service supposed to pop it up and keep it efficient. He filled the void with the same black people who are going to drive the same truck to bring the same prisoners there. And he make money off of we. Because we who working in the government sector who getting paid ain't fixing the government truck. And the next man who's selling truck open a security company and go on with all the money. Who to blame for that? The government?
For sure.
How? When you were not productive.
But they're supposed to be managing the entire process.
Who's the manager? I, as the National Security Minister, had to leave where I is it as a security officer and walk all the way down to the
not individually, but you are the whole who responsible.
Well, all right. So I could hold who in Trinidad and Tobago? Could you fire a public servant?
Yes.
Get real, Mr. Baka. That is the problem. As you make noise, prison officers make noise, they thing, this, that. That is what we have going on through our society for years. And union help contributes to that. And not seeing the significance. And only talking about 1%. And then realizing that we, stupidity, making the 1% get more wealthy.
Yeah. I agree with that part. I agree with that.
Enjoy your morning, right?
Yeah, thank you very much. We stupidity definitely does make the 1% get more money. I tried to take the other call. Sorry about that. I actually thought you was being sarcastic for a while with the voice and thing, because I couldn't believe that he's serious. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, morning, brother. Welcome.
Morning.
Go ahead. We're here in your live, man. Blessings. All right, just having a little problem with that call. Yeah. Ooh, our maze there to some extent, right? All right, look, you trying to come back. Don't listen. All right. We're having some technical difficulties with my partner there. So, let me try to get back to where we were. Good morning. Welcome.
Pleasant morning to you.
Hey, pleasant morning to you as well.
How are you?
Good, man. Good. We just.
Hello.
Yeah, we're just running out of time. So go ahead quickly. All right. I see the countdown to the ads come on. So my apologies. It's just Monday, so we'll be back tomorrow. And I feel like we have a lot to unpack. We have a lot to unpack. The domination of your economy by a few who are able to amass tremendous wealth and leave the masses impoverished or on a lower level is a serious concern to a society. And any government or any leadership has to see that as a challenge to the development of the entire society. There are anti-monopoly laws in more developed societies. There are specific allocations of market. Some business, it have designated for smaller businesses to ensure that just the big businesses don't take everything, because they operate with economies of scale. I don't know if all you know what economies of scale is. Because of your size, you have the ability to, for example, purchase cheaper. If you buying 10,000 mangoes in the market, you could tell somebody who you buying them 10,000 mangoes from, because of the amount. Give me $1 less than you just give to the man who buying 10. And then if you selling mango juice and you bought it for $1 less, then you could sell it for 50 cents less also. So the man who buy 10 to make 2 bottles of juice, his juice will always be more expensive. Economies of scale. You have benefits from being larger. And you have the capacity to undercut, to bid less, to sell for less than the man who's selling 2 bottles and drive him out of business. To purchase his little machine and tell him, nah, don't bother to try to sell juice with me and compete against me, like these big businesses do. To access Forex, to purchase the drugs, the pharmaceuticals, you alone and then sell it to the same people who want to get US to buy it for themselves cheaper. All these things will raise. Let us understand what is taking place economically in Trinidad and Tobago. Let us understand this question. Also, we were on the NGC and profitability. Let us understand who call themselves 1%. No, they are not the only 1%, but they called themselves that. Let us educate ourselves, Trinidad and Tobago, so that we can free ourselves economically, spiritually and otherwise. Blessings to Trinidad and Tobago and the rest of the world, those who tuned in from abroad. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Take care.
Church, number 1 Cochrane Street, opposite Tunapuna Police Station, Tunapuna. The times of our services are as follows. Sunday worship service, 9 a.m. Monday Bible study, 6 p.m. Thursday